Hello, good morning. I'm literally a few minutes late to when I wanted to leave, more than a few, to a last minute pop-up that I scheduled. If you saw my last vlog, you'll know that the last market I did was a complete flop. I literally only sold like one item. So I'm trying to remedy that, and I planned this pop-up within like a day. It's just me. I have my table and everything in the car, so let's go do this. Final event of the year. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to recapping the year in this one and just hopefully finishing off strong. I feel like the things that sometimes that happen last minute end up being like really fun and sweet. So hoping the few hours that I spend outside today selling my stuff will be a nice time at the very least. So let's go do this. I am late. Love that for me. Hi you guys, it is a little chilly today. Coffee shop is busy, but it's slow for me, but I've made a few sales. That feels nice. Honestly, just hanging out with my friends. It's a good way to spend the morning. Hello, I am post pop-up. Honestly feeling great. It is magic outside. I just finished eating and I'm making myself a little instant boba treat because I need to put the rest of the stuff online and I want to do it now so that I can have a proper week off for Christmas. I think that I'll put it online and then maybe do like a little post-Christmas sale. But today went really well. I think I made like $500 probably. Everyone was so sweet. My friend Sarah, angel that she is, came and sat with me the whole time. So that was really fun. I think I love a pop-up. I don't love a market. And you might be thinking, what's the difference? A market for me is a large event. A pop-up is just me or maybe a few other people. And I think that's because it's just way more low-key. It kind of just feels like I'm hanging out and people can come up and look and keep going on their merry way, or ask me things and keep going on their merry way, or ask me things and purchase something, or just grab something and take it home with them. I think it's just way more of a relaxed environment, especially when I am the only vendor. It's just for me personally, just liking like a little moment to myself. It feels great. So I'm very happy that I did that, and honestly, that might just need to be like my little pop-up, my little pop-up outlet in the new year, because it's so easy. I don't need a tent. I can just set up and pick whatever time I want to set up and stay for as long as I want or go home early. It's just way less variables than like a full-on event. So very glad I did that. Going to empty out all of the bins, put everything online, and answer your questions while I do so. This one says, if you were a ceramic piece, what would you be and why? And then in all seriousness, what do you love about making ceramics? I have so many hobbies and I constantly add to that list, but I never consider picking up ceramics. It looks amazing when others do it, but for some reason I don't like getting my hands dirty. So I was wondering if you could share why you enjoy it so much. Thank you, Irene. That was a great question. Okay, the first one, if I'm a ceramic piece, what would I be and why? I can tell you one of these, which is one that I've been making recently this year. Honestly, probably in specifically this green color. I just love how silly it is. And I feel like I can be pretty silly, but it's also like nice to hold. It feels like a hug. And in my real life, I do enjoy giving hugs, and a lot of my friends and people and strangers say that I give really good hugs. So this is me. And yeah, that's the first one. Why do I love ceramics? I love so much about it, but I think the thing that I love the most is the like longevity of it. It's a very slow process that you can't rush, and you kind of just have to learn to be okay with going slow. And that is a really hard thing for me to do. So I love that it teaches me how to slow down, and I can also, in the slow process of it all, like breathe, and it will last for, it could last for longer than I do. And that is like crazy to think about. But I just love that I can, with my hands, make something that I can then use for truly until I break it. I just feel like it's such a vast medium. Like you truly can do like anything with pottery. And for me, I think I enjoy the possibilities of it all, and I hate the mess of it. I don't want to clean up ever, but being at my wheel, throwing and trimming and all of that stuff, it just feels very life-giving, and was the like pause that I needed after a very like people-facing job for many years. So it has been just very nourishing for me. And don't get me wrong, it's very exhausting. I mean, you guys have seen how many things I've broken in the past couple of weeks. That will never see the light of day. It's such a good teacher. It's crazy. And it just feels like it's making me a better person in like a random kind of crazy way. So there's that. Okay. Next question. I switched to the couch because why was I not just doing this on the couch? Okay. What is your rose, bud, and thorn for 2024? And what is your biggest hope for 2025? From Fern Ceramics. Okay, my rose. Ooh, God, this is so hard. I didn't really prepare myself to answer these, which maybe is good or not. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna start with my thorn. I think this year I dealt with anxiety due to finances way a lot. And I think that is why I'm excited for this year to end and just start fresh mentally, emotionally, and hope that I can get this in check so that I can make more money. And I think a rose, if I only had to pick one, probably my health. If you haven't seen my videos or are new here, I had surgery about halfway through the year to get rid of some fibroids that I had because they were truly just like ruining my life. I was very anemic, had to like have transfusions and iron injections and all that kind of stuff, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. And in order to stop that, I had to get them removed, and It's been 5 months since I did, and I truly feel like a different person in so many ways. And I am so glad that I was able to like figure out the problem and fix it. And even though I've known that I've had them for a while, it just got to a point where there was like, this was the only option. And I'm glad that I did it. I was scared. I should have done it last year, but I was too scared to do it. And so I'm glad that I did it this year because I needed to. And I am just grateful for the doctors that led me to this surgery, and like, because I had no idea it was even a thing. It's called a myomectomy, and I thought in order to do anything with your uterus, you just had to get a hysterectomy, which is where they take everything out. But that's not the case. They can just go in and remove them and put it all back together, and it's fine. So I'm glad I did it, and that is a highlight of my year for sure, even though it was obviously painful and long and led to financial stress because I wasn't working for like 4 months trying to recover, and I still have like weird pains and just uncomfortableness now, but I have enough blood in my body and my iron is in check, and I can like live my life now on and off of my period, and that is like amazing. So that's a rose for me. What's a bud? Does that just mean like something that came to life? I don't, this is probably just me being silly. I'm just gonna take it as something that like sparked something new. Honestly, on the heels of like the surgery thing and just feeling like a new person, I think that I have just a new appreciation for my body, and I want to like do what I can to keep her strong and healthy. And so I feel like a bud of mine is really like getting into like being more active and not just doing yoga and like Pilates things that I've normally done, but like riding my bike more, taking more walks, and like actually getting my like heart racing, you know? So that's something that I'm hoping to like make a more consistent thing in the new year. I don't know if that even answers the bud thing, but that is where my mind went, so we're going with it. A hope for 2025, my biggest hope. I just want, I've been saying this, if you read my newsletter, I probably said it in my last video, less is more is my anthem right now because I over-yesed myself this year. And next year, I just want to say yes to the things that I'm like, absolutely yes, this is what I want to be a part of. This is what I want to do. It feels aligned and whatever. And my biggest hope for me in 2025 is that I actually stick to that and make it a priority. And don't settle for anything else except for my like goal and things that align with the goal, and to not let myself get distracted or get like FOMO from like doing things and having that be the only reason that I do it. Like I just want to be like all into whatever I'm doing. So that is a major hope for me in 2025. That was a good question. I feel like I butchered the first one, but it's okay. Hello, I'm back for the final question. It is now Christmas Eve, and I have an order to pack. Don't have tape. My husband was already out and is grabbing me some, but I figured while I wait for my tape and wrap this package up, I would answer the final question. It is, do you think you'll ever expand your online presence with more shop updates? I'm thinking back to what you said in a previous video about not wanting to increase production, yet in-person markets not providing the money you need. It seems like you have a community of people who would love to buy your work, myself included, yet don't live local to you. How do you feel about the online space and maybe expanding production slightly to accommodate being more online? I always see artists place 100% emphasis on being online, so it's interesting to hear your perspective. Thank you, Chelsea. That's a great question. And honestly, simply put, yes, I do want to sell more online. I have been doing like quarterly updates this year and have just been like having stuff in there regularly, but it's not like a lot. So yeah, I need to maybe ramp that up. Like you're even saying, just like a little bit more production. But I also think that just sticking with like my quarterly shop updates, which I pretty much stuck with this year, I will find more joy and less stress in the making process versus like me trying to have like a monthly update, which a lot of artists who are who make ceramics or do other stuff is like the norm. And I just don't want to do that. That's so not realistic for me. So I don't think I'll ever like 100% be just online. Like I want to have my stuff in stores around me. And I think that's why it was so important for me to focus on markets up front, because I needed the like customer feedback about my work. I needed to see it in other people's hands, not just like ship it off to someone who I have no idea if they even like it. But the perk of selling in person is truly just like learning what works. It's market research. I know like what people gravitate towards to color wise, what people gravitate towards form wise, and that was a big deal for me, especially just starting out. So I feel like I'm kind of just making this like little natural progression of like I started small and now I'm like growing outwards. And so it's just the obvious next step for me is to sell more online and to get my stuff into more shops, which is my 2025 goal. And what I plan to like focus on each quarter is just to have a collection that I launch at the start of the season. So March 22nd or 23rd, 2025, you can find my first collection of the year online. I already know what I'm doing. I'm very excited about it, and I love that I am. It feels nice to like, yeah, just be excited about something like that and feel like the vision I have can actually come together. And I feel like the quarterly updates will be good for me to continue because I have my part-time job, so I can kind of like rely on that to like more so pay the bills and like keep that stability there, and then just focus on playing around and making stuff that I like. So very excited about that. 2025, I'm hopeful, and I hope that remains. Thank you, Chelsea. That was a great question. I lied. There's one more question. What kind of wheel do you use, and what is your process when it comes to choosing glazes? Thank you, Check Santo. I have a Shimpo Whisper BL Light. I got it just after, I don't know, the middle of 2021. It was maybe $700. I don't know what it is now, but I love it. Will continue to love it. It hasn't ever let me down. It's the kind of wheel that I think I threw on in the class that I took, and maybe that's why I wanted to try it, because the other brands were just like way more expensive, and this one felt like a great entry-level wheel that will last me a long time, and I still feel like that's true. And as far as choosing glazes go, I love like a matte glaze. I feel like they're so nice to hold, so I'm definitely like I am drawn to that. And then I feel like color just speaks to me a lot, and I don't know, there are certain ones that just make me feel a certain way, and so like this green makes me feel very happy, fun, warm, cozy. I don't know, I just feel like all the colors I've landed on, I can like relate to a feeling, and that's why I've chosen them. That sounds like kind of, I don't know, like not helpful technically, but I feel like when developing like your line of work, having a nice like color story is kind of just like a really fun part that is different for everybody. But I feel like as much as I want the individual color to speak to me, I also want it to like fit in a whole fun color story that mixes the warm and the cool and the bright and the calm. And I feel like I've finally landed on at least 6 colors that I'm like, these will remain. Like this green I have been using since the beginning, and I've kind of just, whatever has hooked me, like that one hooked me, I just keep going with it. Some of them I've tried and I'm like, doesn't fit the whole family of colors, so we're not going to use that one. And then some I'm like, didn't think that I would love you, but now love you. And it's been really fun. So that is the actual final question. And now I will continue packing this order. Thank you guys for asking all of those. It really does mean a lot. Hello, it is so nice to be officially on a little wonky break, I still have admin things to complete. There are taxes to prep for, miles to log, and things to edit, but just knowing that I don't have to be on my wheel making anything for a couple of weeks is honestly game-changing for me. This year, I think I did like 12 markets. I accepted a handful of commissions. I kept my pop-up shop and 2 stores stocked. I collabed with a private dinner restaurant, and I managed to sell online in addition to all of that and make YouTube videos every single week this year, minus my little surgery break time, and I'm proud of myself. It has been, I feel a lot of things about this year, as I'm sure a lot of us do, but I know that what happened needed to happen for me in my business to kind of show me what will actually help me get to where I want to go and what won't. I think in 2025, I just need to accept less and choose myself and my mental health a lot more instead of trying to literally just be involved in everything. Like, there's just so much that is going on, and I need to be okay with the fact that I can't do it all. And FOMO, I think, is a real thing for me when it comes to my business, less in my personal life and more in my business, of just making sure that I want to be like accepting the right things, working with the people that I want to work with, and not just feeling this need that if I don't say yes right now, I can't have the opportunity arise ever again. And I think that feels just like it will allow me to actually breathe and play more and take more time to make and experiment and fine-tune all the things that I've been doing and switch up the things that I've been doing, the systems that I have in place, or just the habits that I have when it comes to doing this whole thing. I think it's time for a refresh, 3 years deep. I still have so much to learn and have gained a lot of experiential, if that's a word, knowledge this year, because I said I'm going to try the things, and the only way I'm going to learn if I like it or want to do it or if it's going to work or not is if I just say yes to all the things and narrow it down from there. And now I feel like I have enough experiences in this under my belt to know that I want to sell my stuff in stores. I want to collaborate with other small businesses. I want to update my online store every quarter and have focused collections with a theme. And I want to pop up less and keep my YouTube going and keep my newsletter going and just find more of myself in this whole thing. and continue to learn and grow. So I guess a few lessons learned in 2024 and hopes and dreams for 2025. We all have no idea what it's going to be like, but I do know that I want to say yes to me more and say no to others more, knowing that I'm just trying to figure out who I am as a ceramic artist. And if I just keep jumping on every little thing that comes my way, I don't know that I'll actually figure that out. I think oftentimes when you're reflecting and taking a pause and stepping away, that's when you figure out your heart's desire, or what's working and what's not, and how you really feel. And so I'm hoping that by limiting my yeses, I can get down to what it is that I want to keep putting out in the world and how I want to continue to evolve in this whole thing. Thank you so much for all of your support and love and comments and shares and everything this year. It has been so much. I love making these videos, and it's been such a fun little creative outlet for me, and I love YouTube so much more than all the other social medias, and I can't wait to see what 2025 holds in this regard. Somehow have 3,000 followers. Very cool. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you in the new year.